because of by counting them and by calling them by names. And we were asking and showing at the beginning of the Maimer that counting and names are two expressions of love, though you need to understand what's the significance of each one, and also that by Yidden there's the combination of both. The counting them by names, that there's an association between them, not just like by the Kechavim where there's a number for them, there's numbers and there's names for them. So we started explaining that the idea of a name is the way how it's mashpia down here below, just like the stars are both receiving hashpah from above and they are also being mashpia downwards. And the names are what identifies first of all, it is the way how the hashpah comes down to the stars, and then that the names are also the means through which their hashpah becomes known. And the same thing by Yidden, that the names of the Bnei Yisrael, like Reuven and Shimon and so on, express what they do. Like the Reuven is the Riyah, the vision, of course, Shimon is the idea of hearing, and so on. This is where we left off yesterday. Now we're going to continue in explaining, despite the fact that there's the individual names showing on specific types of hashpah, in addition to the fact that the specific names, like we just now said, like Reuven and Shimon, indicate the specifics of what each one influences and brings down. There's the general idea of the name that's connected with the essence that's beyond any division into details. As it's known, the name of a person is connected with the essence of the life force that's beyond the revealed soul powers. Like it's obvious and proven from the fact through calling a person by his name, we awaken him from a state of being unconscious. What does it mean when a person is unconscious? The revealed life force of the person left him. And now, when you call him, you are drawing down from a higher place than the revealed source. That's because calling them by name, that awakens the essence of the life and therefore rejuvenates and brings down new life into the person. For this reason, that the name is associated with the essence of the person, for that reason a person is called by the identical name throughout all the days of his life. So despite the changes, the growth, the development that occurs in his revealed powers and his revealed soul power throughout all of his years. So he's not the same, he doesn't have the same mind, he doesn't have the same feeling like he did when he was 5, as 15, as 45, as 85. Still in all, he's called by the same name, indicating that the name surpasses that revealed or any revealed part of the person that changes. And the Rebbe emphasizes by using the term b'meshach kol shnoisov, shana gam meloshen shinui. The word shana, year, is also related to the word change, meaning every year is an idea of change. So it's what he was last year is not what he is this year. It's not what he's going to be next year. And despite that, that still in all, it's all the same name. That shows that the name transcends the revealed soul powers. Top of page Zayin. So now, getting back to the topic of Hashem's love that's expressed through calling us by name. From this understood also concerning the love of Hashem that becomes revealed through the names of the Bnei Yisrael. שנויסף על החיבה מצד המעלה הפרטית שבכל אחד מישראל, שבו מחולק מחברו in addition to the love. That's a result of the individual quality of every single Yid, that in that particular thing he is unique and distinct from another. So Hashem's love for us is also because of who we are as individuals. It's not just Hashem loves us, we are Yidden and that's it. I have certain qualities and I bring something to Klal Yisrael that no other person brings. And Hashem's love for us is not just a general thing because we're Jewish, but also because of our individual contribution, our individual capabilities and qualities. But in addition to that love, the Rebbe continues in line 4, there's also the love that's a result and connected to the essence of the Yidden. That's a part of Hashem from above, mamish. Nekudas hayadus, what's known as the Pintla Yid. She'etzel kol Bnei Yisrael b'shava, that is equal by all Yidden. Kulam asimus, they all correspond, they all match up. V'av echad l'kulana, and one Father is for all of us, because that's the commonality that we have. So that is the idea, just like the name expresses the essence, and that's why the name doesn't change over years, because it's connection with the essence, and it wakes someone from his state of unconsciousness, because it has to do with the essence. It reflects the love of Hashem to our essence, not just because of our individual qualities. Ois Gimel, line 9. The idea behind this is by calling by name, misbates ha'ava atzmi shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'bnei Yisrael. It's expressed the essential love of Hashem to the Yidden. This will be understood from the essential love of parents to their child. That it came down by chain descent. It's similar to the essential love of Hashem to the Jewish people. The love that parents express to their children through calling the child by their name, especially by using like decorative terms and adding a nickname to it, like Mendele, Chaimke, etc., or similar type of expressions of nicknames, not chas shalom in a negative way, but in a way of love. So this is all expressive of, it's not a business relationship. Okay, here's Chaim and here's Yaakov, but there's Yankele and so on and so forth. Perhaps this is also the reason when parents get upset at their children. I guess their open love is blocked, and instead of just calling them whatever, they'll call them Chaim, Yankel, Horowitz, get right over here and clean up this mess. But anyway, be that as it may. So the Rebbe continues after the parentheses on line 16. It's even more in depth than the love that's expressed through giving a gift. When the parents call their child by name, it's a greater love expressed, and even seemingly a love of a parent giving a gift to a child. Or speaking words of love, how much they love their child. But I feel like the chibuk v'nishuk, even through hugging and kissing, it's not the same level of love as when we call by name. When we give a gift and we speak words of love, it's dependent upon the age and the understanding of the child. Why? When we give an older child a gift that's appropriate for a young child, Not only doesn't it express aspect of love of the parent to the child, but just the opposite. It expresses the opposite of love. It shows that the parent is like making fun of the child. Here, I'm giving you a toy for a baby. So too the other way. If you give to a young child a gift that's appropriate for an older child, again, it doesn't express a matter of love, like you're having somebody's toys, suitable for ages 9 and up. If you're going to give it to a 3-year-old, they won't even know what to do with it. So too, concerning matters of love. Words of love. Only when they're comparable to the understanding of the child, so then they express the idea of love. To a baby, you speak like in baby language about, this beautiful baby, whatever. But you're not going to go ahead and start speaking a whole treatise on the concept of love and the connection you have with the baby, because the baby's just going to look at you like, what are you talking about? Since a gift and words of love, that they are the vessel through which the love is expressed. They're measured according to the age and the understanding of the child, how they move, and so it's understood. Also the love that's expressed through the words or through the gift, is in a way that it's measured, it's limited. This cannot be the vehicle, or cannot be an expression of the essential love to the essence of the son. It's not measured according to the mind of the son. Even the love that is expressed through hugging and through kissing, there you can say that's the essence. There's no difference. This is appropriate and applicable whether it's a child or it's an adult. There's still limitations that the love, the hugging and kissing, that's expressing the love, it's only applicable when the one who is being shown the love to is close to the person that is expressing their love. So the fact that it can only take place in a certain limited, specific area, so this is the proof. Also, they do not yet express the essential love, that the essential love is not measured and limited in place. The even more so. The expression of the love through hugging and kissing, it's only applicable when the one's beloved is awake. It's not possible to express it while he's asleep, because it's not being in a way that the one that is sleeping is receiving the hug and the kiss. They're not aware of it. From this is even more understood. It's not the essence of the love itself, because when it comes to the very essence of the love itself, there's no difference between if the person that's loved is awake or the person that's loved is asleep. It's all in both cases, it will be something that is the same love if we're dealing with the love of the essence. As opposed to the love that's expressed through the mentioning of the name. We see with our senses that there is no measures, no boundaries, no limitations. It makes no difference if the beloved is found close by or in a faraway place. Surely there's no difference if the child is wise or not. In every state that the son is found in, one expresses the love through calling the person by name, regardless of how smart or not, etc. Because through mentioning the name of the child, is expressed the essential love that's connected with the essence of the Son, beyond all types of form and delineation and definition. Last paragraph on the page. This is also the idea of Hashem calling the names of the Bnei Yisrael. But this is expressed, the essential love of Hashem to the Yid that's not connected with any specific qualities. It's expressed with the very essence of the Jewish people. That this essence of the Jew is totally complete and perfect in any state and situation. Not just when they were standing in Har Sinai and Matan Torah, they were at the highest state. Or even when they were settled in the best and most comfortable place of the land, like for example the land of Goshen, in such a way that they had taken hold of it, and meaning they were like in control of it, and they were in the most comfortable state. So in other words, he gave an example of spiritually being in a very elevated state, and also materially being elevated in a very good state. But even if it's the other way, but also while being in the land of Mitzrayim, like the continuation of the pasuk, these are the names of the Bnei Yisrael that are coming to Mitzrayim. Over there, they were in a state and situation that, like it says, the Malachim were mekatrig and said, that why are you treating the Jewish people different than you are treating the Egyptians? These are serving Avodah Zarah, and those, in other words, they're no different in the way they act. V'afal still in all taf page test. Hashem says that regardless of what they are doing or not doing, I cannot exchange them for any other nation. My bond with them is a shazel mitzad etzim. It's because of the essential bond, not because of the individual qualities that are changeable, etc. And so now the Rebbe adds, it's not just that that Hashem's calling of the Yidden by name is something that expresses his love for their essence, but even more so, that by calling them by name, which is connected with essence, that reveals their essence. Through the calling by the names of the Jewish people. So it's not just Hashem expressing his love, but it's also the essence is awoke. Like for example, calling a person by his name. Like we said in Ois Beis, that when you call him by name, you awaken him from his state of unconsciousness. Like it's also known concerning the revelation of Baal Shem Tov, that the Jewish people, because of the great tragedies that took place then, the Chmielnitsky massacres of Tach V'Tat, the Jewish people were in a state of being in a faint. They were materially and also spiritually, generally in a very low state, in a spiritual state of unconsciousness. The latest of Baal Shem Tov, Shishma Yisrael, and the birth of the Baal Shem Tov, whose name is Yisrael, Hoyse B'chinas Kriyas Shem Yisrael, it was like the calling of the name Yisrael, Kidei La'oiras B'nei Yisrael Misalfusam, so to awaken the Jewish people from their faint. So we see that Hashem calls us by name to awaken the essence. It's not just the idea of the love that Hashem demonstrates to us. Ois Dalud, line 11. V'hinei ha'ava ha'atzmis shal HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'bnei Yisrael shemisbatas b'kriyas shenis kshura gam inam minyan. This essential love of Hashem that to the Yid that expresses itself by calling them by name is connected also with the idea of count. That's the idea that he counted them by their names. Like we said before, it wasn't just he called them by names, but he counted them by names. So he's going to explain the idea of counting and what's the significance of that. The idea behind this is also the idea of counting and numbers has to do with the essence. When a count is that you count everyone the same. The greatest of the great is not considered more than one, and the smallest of the small, the most minor of the most minor, is not considered less than one. Like, for example, the counting of the 70 people that came into Mitzrayim that we had in Chumash Bereshis, Yaakov Avinu, you had Yaakov Avinu, and you had V'shol ben Aknanis, and V'shol, the son of the Knanis, however that meaning is, V'yecheved, and then you had Yecheved, Shenoilde ben Achaimis, that was born between the walls. In other words, just as they were entering Mitzrayim, the youngest, the baby of the entire 70 souls. So we don't say that Yaakov Avinu is this level, and Shol, the daughter of Canaan, is worth X amount, and Yecheved is worth less, or so on. But Nimnu B'Shava, all these different people were counted equally, even though what comparison is between Yaakov and a just born baby? Why is that so? Because from the perspective of the essence of the soul, Kulam Shavim, all are equal. This is also the reason that prior to the Yom Tov Shavuos, which is the time of the giving of the Torah, Kairim Parshas Bamidbar, we read Parshas Bamidbar, Shas Cholasav V'Tachanahu Minyam Yisrael. Its beginning and content of that parsha is counting the Jewish people. It starts off right away that when they were in Midbar Sinai, and they were counted. How come? Because the counting expresses the connection that we have to this idea of the Torah. So he says, the revelation of the giving of the Torah has to do with the essence of the soul of a Yid. That's why there had to be 600,000 Yidden by the giving of the Torah, and if even one person would have been missing, the Torah wouldn't have been given. Even if that one person would have been seemingly an insignificant person, because there is no insignificant. From the essence, everybody has to be there. Even more so, now the Rebbe adds that the idea of counting is connected with the essence even more than the name. When it comes to counting, there's no difference whatsoever between those that are counted. When you come to a name, the not differentiation is in the person himself. Throughout all of his years, he's called by the same name. But there's still a difference between one name and another name. everyone is called by a unique name that indicates what they're about. So there's a difference over here. According to this, we can explain the difference between counting and naming, or names. The idea of numbers indicates a level that a neshama, the way it's higher than a bond with a specific body. In this level, all of them match up, and there's one Father for all of us. As opposed to the name, that indicates a level of the neshama, the way it's already enclosed in a specific body. In other words, already a lower level. Like it's known, the neshama above has no name. Only after it descends down here in the body, it receives a name.